You could be anywhere on YouTube, but right now, you're exactly where you need to be. You're in the best place on YouTube. Dude, you're right here on Just Alyx. And by the way, Alyx, that's my middle name. I don't spell it cool like you. I like that, A-L-Y-X. Hey, Just Alyx. Best wishes from Rob Van Dam. Pow. Let's do another one. Welcome to Just Alyx on YouTube. From the whole effing show, RVD.
Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I am your host, Alyx, Just Alyx, and this is your WWE Monday Night Raw. King and Queen of the Ring premiere. The King of the Ring is back, ladies and gentlemen. King and Queen of the Ring is back. And you know what? It feels good. I grew up with King of the Ring. Back in the Attitude Era, it was a hallmark of the entire company. It really brought a lot of notoriety to not just the shows, but also to the wrestling matches. Now, back then, the matches were all done in one night. I kind of would like to get back to that format eventually, but I think with the way things are, they would rather it just be here and there, weekly. And that's fine. That's fine. Whichever one works for them, I'm not going to give you guys a hard time about that. I personally, this is just me personally, would prefer we get back to it being on one night. But regardless of how you feel about it and how I feel about it, when it comes to tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, which, let me see, it was May 6th, 2024, you know what? Thought it was good. It was a very strong wrestling episode. And it being a King of the Ring tournament just added that much more levity, that much more impact, importance to the shows. So it's not just matches for the sake of matches. They all had purpose, which made it much more interesting, which made it a lot more fun than the average Monday Night Raw or SmackDown where you got them just wrestling for no reason. Or they're just wrestling for whatever other particular story that they're involved in. This was fun. To me, the matches of the night, of course, GUNTHER, GUNTHER and Sheamus. And then Ilja Dragunov making his, well, not his debut, because he fought Shinsuke on his debut. I guess his debut as a member of the roster, officially, main roster, against Ricochet. They had a tremendous match. One of those matches that had it all. It was hard-hitting, new moves, innovative, fast-paced. All of it was tremendous. And it was one of those matches that made you go, okay, if this is the kind of wrestling we can get, how's about we raise the bar across the board? Let's push these men and women to deliver good wrestling matches. I thought Natalya versus Iyo Sky was a good match. Of course it is. It's Natalya and Iyo Sky. It's destined to be a good match. Lyra Valkyria made her debut against Dakota Kai. It was supposed to be against Asuka, but Asuka apparently got injured at the pay-per-view. Or she was working hurt. Regardless, she couldn't compete tonight. Along with Drew McIntyre, who was supposed to fight Finn Balor, but ended up being replaced by, of all people, Jey Uso, who is, well, maybe not becoming, maybe straight up is the most popular wrestler today. His entrance is now being mimicked, done during basketball games. Did you guys see that clip of them playing Jey Uso's theme and the crowd doing the cell phones and then the yeet during the song? Bruh. Jay's popular. Y'all might not like him inside the ring. I don't think he's bad inside the ring. I just don't. I don't think he's amazing. He's good. He's not gonna blow my socks off. I don't need him to. Just be good. Regardless, he's over. Over like Roval. And I'm starting to think... See, at first, I had Gunther. Winning the tournament. Now with Jey Uso involved, with as popular as he has become, I think they want to give him something. So he might win. Gunther's my pick to win the entire tournament, at least for the men. Women, I guess Tiffany Stratton. We'll figure it out. It'll be someone from SmackDown. If Jade Cargill's in it, it'll be Jade Cargill. But I have a feeling that they're going to give it to Tiffany Stratton. We'll see. So one from SmackDown, Tiffany. One from Raw, Gunther. We'll see. We'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, I'm digging it. Sometimes, especially during this time where wrestling is not as hot, you know what I mean? It's a cool down period. We're not really going to get much happening, at least in terms of major storylines. We got the Bloodline, this new Savage Bloodline happening on SmackDown. But in terms of everything else, yeah, we're still doing ultimately Liv Morgan's Revenge Tour on Raw, and that's about it. Ain't much else happening. Oh, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre as well. But even that just kind of feels like, all right, we're going to keep it simmering. You know what I mean? They're just kind of doing this Road Runner and Wile E. Coyote back and forth chase in the interim while they both heal up. But then when they're both healthy, we can get that kicked up to a whole new gear. So, yeah, things are a little cold, but that's expected with WWE after WrestleMania. I already know when we get to the summer, not even that far off, when we get to Glasgow, it's going to pick up. It has to. It has to pick up. But until then, we'll just have good wrestling. That's fine. That's perfect for me. I mean, we're still building certain storylines, certain feuds. We still got Sami Zayn and, of course, Chad Gable building their rivalry. It's getting a little heated, getting a little spicy, getting a little personal. They threw in Bronson Reed there as a buffer. Can't wait to see how he gets involved in things and what he ends up making this feud into. So they're going to do a triple threat match in Saudi Arabia. It'll be Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, and of course, Bronson Reed for the IC title. And then Liv Morgan will take on Becky Lynch for the Women's Championship. Somehow, some way, I do expect Dominic Mysterio to get involved. Speaking of Dominic Mysterio, he brought a new friend to the Judgment Day. And it was Carlito Cool. Carlito is now hanging around Dominic Mysterio, further teasing that Dom might be on his way out of the group. You can see the cracks already formed in Judgment Day. It's been there. It's been there for a while, but now it's really starting to come apart. And what they do with it going forward, we'll have to figure out. So, this is fine. I'm not going to lose my mind over where we are with WWE right now. We're still getting some development in the stories, but I'm not going to expect much to happen. Not at least until, I don't know, again, until Roman and Rock get back. You know Roman's coming back. And you already know Rock's going to be back for SummerSlam. So, alright, we'll just chill. Use this time to introduce new characters like Ilja Dragunov. Get some more TV time for the women. I love that the women had, how many matches did they have? Was it 3? Yeah, it was 3, because it was Natty and Iyo, Lyra and Dakota, and then Zoey Stark, right? And Ivy Nile. Not bad. Again, you can tell that the crowd isn't as invested in the women because they're still not established as characters yet. They still need to cook for a little bit longer. They still need to simmer, but they'll get there. They'll get there. I have a feeling that as time goes by, slowly but surely, the fans will be a lot more invested in the women because of the new influx of new talent coming in, but also we're building new characters for it. When we get Liv Morgan's character going, this Vixen, this femme fatale, if you will, that's gonna steal Rhea Ripley's B. You know who I'm talking about. And then, of course, steal her championship as well. And then it'll be hot. Really, really hot. And then I guess Becky Lynch will then dovetail into a feud with Damage Control. Let's see how that one plays out. I'm not too sure about it, but we'll see. We need something going. That's for sure. Maybe she'll have Lyra Valkyria as a partner. I mean, I enjoyed Raw. Sometimes it's just good to get a show that's simple, easy, you understand the purpose, you execute it, no problems. No, it's not going to blow your socks off. I'm not going to be calling this one of the best Raws of 2024. I don't need to. I am a simple, easy date. Just give me a good show. That's it. You give me a good show with some good wrestling, I'm good. I'm straight. You know who's not straight? Gable Stevenson and Drew Gulak. We'll be talking about their releases and overall my thoughts on the recent round of releases from WWE. A lot of unknowns, young talent from NXT. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't watch enough NXT. So a lot of these names that were on the list, I'm just like, okay. At the very least, how about this? Years ago, not even that long ago, even last year, Vince McMahon would release people like Bray Wyatt and Aleister Black and Dolph Ziggler and Braun Strowman like main event players. You get me? They would release these huge names because Vince got bored of them and didn't want to use them no more. Just tossed them away like toys, right? Back then, I had an issue with the releases, especially when it was talent that weren't given a fair shot. You get me? Nowadays, other than Cameron Grimes, all the releases are people I'm just like, sure. I mean, some of them have been given a fair shot and they didn't connect. Others are unknowns. They're young. They brought them in. They couldn't cut it. And yeah, like some of these releases, even now, I'm like, well, maybe they'll be better off in other promotions. And then they can come back. I mean, yeah, that does explain Cameron Grimes too, but neither here or there. And so when I talk about Drew Gulak and I talk about Gable Stevenson, keep that in mind. Well, more so for Gable Stevenson. Drew Gulak, I'm glad he's gone. And we'll get into that in a second. And whatever else we'll talk about. I'm just going to wing it tonight. So far, the internet's doing fine. I want to apologize for the horrible reception that I was getting on, what was it, Saturday? Yeah, for Backlash. A show that I thought was great. The show was great. Of course, the crowd carried it to a great show. The card itself was solid. But when you have a fantastic, excellent crowd like Leon France, they can make a good show into a fantastic show. And that's what we got. But I do apologize because during the stream, my internet kept going in and out. And I cannot promise you it won't happen tonight. But we're going to see how things play out. And we're going to pray that things are A-okay. How do I sound? How do I look? How's your experience going so far? Are we good? Are we Gucci? All right. Well, in that case, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for us to go ahead and get on with the show. We're going to go ahead and do the usual stuff. We're going to plug the sponsorship. We're going to plug the usual social medias. And then I'll say hi to everybody here in the live chat, who you can see right over her. I don't know who that is, but I don't care about that one. I care about these people. So we'll definitely go ahead and get that started. And any other topics, by the way, if there are any topics that you want me to discuss, for the love of all that is heaven, put it in the live chat. Because I will see it and I will go, oh, okay, that's what we'll talk about. So if you're ready to get the stream started, let me hear you say, yeet! In that case, if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, you're at it! Help expand the brand by doing the following things. Donate! Hey.
Why is there even a tournament for King, when I'm greatness on a different level? Acknowledge me and feel the power. Your super chat champ with everybody saying, Corporate Clyde.
Ladies and gentlemen, your champ is here! Corporate Clyde, the new tribal chief. Acknowledge him. Good to have you here, sir. Thank you for the donation. But like I was saying, you can join the membership. Click that join button and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, just Alyx Central. Give me a follow on Instagram, give me a follow on Spotify, give me a follow on TikTok, for I am the tickest of the talkest. Also, Threads, Cameo, and ladies and gentlemen, the Discord! Join the Discord today. Be a part of the family. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo. And yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast. To get your thoughts played live on the air, email me at justalyxsworld@gmail.com. For business inquiries, just to say hi. And please, get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Get you an old school Deluxe t-shirt. Get you a new school Alyx Sis World t-shirt. But most importantly, get you a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie. America, the remix t-shirt made by Exchange Oxy Fires Heart. All this down below in the description box. Today's sponsor is SeatGeek. If you're someone that's looking for tickets to a concert, to a wrestling event, or any kind of sporting event, and you're looking for a discount, a layup, just a little bit of a leg up for you. Not too much. Something that'll help you save a little money. I got just the thing for you. If you use the promo code JustAlyx at checkout, that's JustAlyx with no space, I can get you $20 off your first ticket purchase. Now, if that is something that you want to be a part of, you want to get access to all that, all that, then ladies and gentlemen, let's get a quick word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. If you're a wrestling fan looking for access to great seats for any wrestling event near you, then you want to use this app. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek stands as the unrivaled #1 ticketing app in the market today. SeatGeek constantly delivers incredible deals on ticket prices. When you're exploring the app, keep an eye out for the special green dots that mark the best deals. What's even better is that every ticket you purchase is backed by SeatGeek's buyer guarantee, with the option to return your tickets and even swap them before the events. So here's an exclusive for you. If you click the link down below and use the promo code JustAlyx, you can get $20 off your first purchase. Yes, $20 off any ticket that you purchase using the promo code JustAlyx. this is a sweet deal that you could use literally right now. So don't wait. Click the link, download the app, and join the SeatGeek family today. This is all that. This is all that. I took it back, man. Thank you all so much for joining me for this live stream. Once again, show your love to the moderators. Ultra, Shine Nice and Firestar Heart, Alyx, a Diva New Japan Pro Wrestling Girl, Highway Dealing Danger. Khalil does everything, and of course, Big MGM, because they help keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Now, I think Khalil, ladies and gentlemen, might be popping in. If Khalil does everything pops in, show him some love. As you already know, we family here. We love each other. We take care of each other. But thank you all so much for making me a part of your day. You could be anywhere and you chose me. So please do me a solid favor. Why don't you hit that like button? Because the more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So help boost that algorithm by hitting that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit it hard. Hit it good. As you should. We're going to kick things off with a special, very special group of people. And I want to say thank you to them for continuing to let me be a part of their journey to 20,000 subscribers. They are the premier wrestling reaction channel here in the YouTube space. Say hello to A and B Convos Wrestling Edition. Good to have you guys here. A and B? Yeah, SmackDown's going to be a good show too. I can't wait to see your reactions to that. That is right. They're doing reactions to not just Raw, but also SmackDown. So get in on the journey and be a part of their growth to 20,000 subscribers. Let's go ahead and get to the other people here. We got Dulcie Chatham. We got JJ. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? JJ. Bulldog in his house. I also see Joseph Winters. Good to have you here, sir. We got Nintendo Porn. It's Nintendo Porn. Nintendo Porn Company Conspiracy in his house. Good to have you here, sir. Jake, the Aerial Assassin. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Good to have you here. Is that Miss Lauren Biggs? Excuse me. Your goatness, Lauren Biggs. We got Joe Shipley. Good to have you here, sir. It's Steve Callen. What's good, Mr. It's Steve Callen? We also got Chosen One. I'm the Chosen One. Good to have you here, sir. Chosen One. I see, I'm gonna get this name wrong, but I'm gonna try. Is it Telly Wo-Seze? Telly Wo-Seze? Telly Woyan. Telly Wo-Seze, Telly Woyan. How did I do? Probably not so good. I apologize. Probably sucked. Shadow Star, Volterra in his house. We got It's Yo Pink Panther, John Bill II. And the last one's going to go to Mr. Sean Swaby. Baby! Thank you all so much for making me a part of your day. We're going to go ahead and move right along with the live stream. Again, I don't want to push my luck with the internet tonight. So we're not going to waste any time. We're just going to scooch right along. Especially to these next topics. So, the WWE did, in fact, release a batch of new talent this past week. And most of them were unknowns. A lot of the people that they brought in as, I think, athletes from different sports altogether that felt like, you know what, I want to try out as a wrestler. They came in, within 6 months of bringing them in, they realized, yeah, you're not cut out for this, and they released them. So that's essentially who was in this new batch of releases. Just a bunch of people who they brought in who couldn't cut it. Not saying they won't be able to cut it down the road. They just couldn't cut it at this time. And since WWE is jam-packed with a lot of hungry, ferocious sharks looking to get to the top, look, we ain't got time to be dealing with people who ain't connected. And that's where we are right now. I think Triple H and Shawn Michaels, too, have both reached a point where they're getting such an influx of new talent, and they have so many things that they have to do. They have all these crowds, 20,000. It might be up somewhere close to 30,000 when we get to stadiums, probably even more. Tons and tons of fans coming to their shows, ratings that are going up. They don't got time for it.
If things were different, how would you feel if WM40 and WM41 switched locations? Plus, the dates for next year's WM could make the weather better.
I think that's the only reason why they're going to Las Vegas next year. For the weather. But also, the timing, I think they're doing it on Easter Sunday, right? Well, Easter weekend. Look, WrestleMania is WrestleMania. You won't see me complain one bit. And I think the timing of it also helps with The Rock's schedule, because you already know the main is going to be The Rock and Roman Reigns. So, there's a lot of factors that go into that. I personally wouldn't mind WrestleMania happening later on in the year. Nowhere close to the summer. Keep it around April, May. You know what I mean? That's the time to do WrestleMania. But yeah, if you want to avoid that spring weather issue, I understand them moving the date. And no, I wouldn't change locations. I think this year, WrestleMania 40 should have been in Philadelphia. It fit. It fit with the story they were telling anyways with Cody Rhodes and Roman. So, I disagree. But yeah, we've reached the point in WWE where they're hot. And so they don't have the luxury of just putting anybody on TV. You better know your shit. When WWE wasn't as hot, and they were just, all right, we don't really have a big audience. You know what? Let's see what you can do. We're gonna put you in some spots, see if it works. If it doesn't, cool. Not anymore. Especially now that they're not private. They're now owned. Well, they were never private. They were public, but they're not owned by the same people. They're now owned by Ari Emanuel, and other big execs that are expecting a big turnaround on the investment that they're getting from WWE. So guess what? If you're not bringing in the money, if you're not making use of your TV time, they gonna cut you. They about to cut it. They gonna cut you. Simple as that. You need to cut it. And so, when I look at this list, and a lot of these names are literally people you know what? How's about we put them up? Let's go to WWE releases, and we're actually going to look at the current batch of people that were released. And, of course, two of them were Gable Stevenson and Drew Gulak. But I want to look at the actual name of these guys that were released. I'm gonna have to see if I can find them really, really quickly. So, on top of the people that were released, Jinder Mahal, Zion Quinn, Xia Li, Sangha, Veer, Von Wagner. The one that broke my heart was Cameron Grimes. Woo, he gone. We got it's a Yulisa Leon, Daryl Mason, Vlad Pavlenko, Ezekiel Balogun, Kaye Saint, Emma Diaz, Valentina Feroz, Keyshawn LaFleur, Trey Bearhill. Who the hell are these people? Julian Baldi. Yeah, and then, of course, Boa. I know who Boa is. Boa's been here for a long time. Didn't Boa, debut during NXT Black and Gold? Boa been here forever. And they kept him around longer than... he stayed longer than Gable Stevenson. Honestly. I think he might have stayed longer than Drew Gulak. But yeah, like, all those names, people in the live chat are like, who are these people? Exactly. So, I actually take comfort in these releases. I don't advocate for people to lose their jobs. Never. And there's a side of me that does kind of wish a lot more of these younger talents get a little bit more opportunity to at least try to get over. But I also think because the standard's so high and WWE is super protective of people, they just basically say, I would rather just pay you and release you and not embarrass yourself, or you make us look bad, or risk you making us look bad, which it is what it is. But then we get to these other names. Let's start with Drew Gulak. Now, Drew Gulak is somebody that, again, if you've been watching WWE at least over the last decade or so, he's a name that you should know. At one point in time, he was regularly featured on Raw doing PowerPoints. Remember that? Remember the PowerPoints? I can't be the only one. You don't remember? Okay. That was during a time when Raw sucked. Jesus Christ. But, yeah, Drew Gulak, when they allowed him to wrestle, when they allowed him to actually perform inside the ring, he was an excellent wrestler. At one point in time, Brian Danielson, vouched for him to be pushed. I'm pretty sure he regrets that now. So as you guys know, because we talked about it, Drew Gulak came under scrutiny because of an incident involving him and Ronda Rousey, where somehow, someway, during the interaction, he went to shake her hand and he accidentally grabbed her drawstring. Now, I have gone for handshakes a ton of times in my life. Probably 1,000,000 times. If I'm being honest with you, I had done some embarrassing handshakes. So you be coming this way, because sometimes you don't be knowing. We be guys, they be coming all the way up here, and I'm thinking they gon' come from under, and they do that. They go, I was like, and so our hands would be like this, and so we would have these awkward moments when my hand would be, it would completely miss, and then I just kind of make up for it. But yeah, doesn't really matter how awkward the situation gets. I don't ever recall accidentally grabbing someone's drawstring. So, Mr. Gulak, I'm gonna need you to explain that one. Regardless of the situation, to me, whether he's some kind of a molester or anything like that, the thing is, what he got fired over, essentially, or maybe not fired over, what he's not going to get resigned for, because let's talk about that too, had nothing to do with what happened with Ronda Rousey. According to Triple H. Now, those of you who aren't following social media, who don't know what's going on, during the WWE Backlash press conference, Triple H was asked about Drew Gulak and him being released, him getting fired, and one of the reporters asked it had anything to do with Ronda Rousey. Triple H would go out of his way to bury the sources of this news. He basically said, the people who reported that, check your sources, they're not credible. Most of the time. And then he made the announcement that Drew Gulak wasn't fired. He just wasn't getting his contract renewed. Right? So, the people who reported this news were PW Insider and Fightful Select. And the guy asking the question named Fightful Select and PW Insider. So it wasn't like it was a question asked vaguely. No. Triple H heard Fightful Select and PW Insider. Now, I don't know about y'all. I get most of my news, for me, from Fightful Select and PW Insider. Mike Johnson and Sean Ross Sapp. I've called Fightful Select the Stone Cold Steve Austin of news reports. 90% of the time, they are accurate with their reports. Have they been wrong before? Yes. They're not perfect. But I do believe I can trust them a lot more. Them, PW Insider, and WrestleVotes on Twitter have been extremely accurate with everything they've reported. Everything. It's crazy. So when Triple H made that statement, and apparently he apologized to them behind scenes, to me, when you say that these people are not credible in public, the apology should be public. You know what I mean? But when he made that statement, that was one of those cases where I think this is Triple H exposing himself a little bit. He can't be reading the wrestling news. He must have that same mindset that, well, basically every other person in the wrestling business has had for over a century. They hate media. And when I say they, I mean people in the business in general, hate wrestling news. They hate Dave Meltzer. They probably hate Sean Ross Sapp. They probably hate PW Insider. They hate people that expose the business. Which makes sense, because you're taking money out of their pocket. When you expose or spoil a debut, a special reveal, how a match is going to end, that makes people not want to watch the shows as much, especially when they know what's going to happen, right? So I can understand 100% Triple H completely not liking Fightful Select for whatever reason. That being said, can we call a spade a spade? I seriously doubt Drew Gulak would even be in the conversation if Ronda Rousey wasn't brought up. Now, this other situation involving him, I think is inexcusable, and if it's true, he should definitely go. Apparently, according to Fightful Select, Drew Gulak has been bullying talent. Yeah, and during matches, he would intentionally drop them on their heads. He would target their injuries, like legit, and be a little bit more rougher with them than usual. You know what I mean? And he got a lot of complaints for that. Now, I did see a clip of him dropping one of the wrestlers. I forgot what his name was, but I know it was on NXT Level Up. He dropped him right on his head. And see, that don't fly with me. I get this old school mindset where back in the day, you had these wrestlers. Jim the Anvil Neidhart did this. They would intentionally go out of their way to beat you up, to hurt you, to rough you up a little bit, to test your toughness. Right? I'm sorry. I think when it comes to that, it can get a little too much, especially when you're dropping people on their heads. You're just dangerous. You're just dangerous. I understand that you want to test them to make sure that, okay, you guys are legit. You're tough, right? But nah, man, I'm sorry. Like, Drew Gulak, if he's going around intentionally hurting people and dropping them on their heads, when they're trusting their lives with him, he gotta go. He gotta go. I don't care what anyone has to say. I don't want anyone like that in the business. Because all it takes is for him to do it to the wrong person, and then guess who's held liable? The company. Let him paralyze somebody being an asshole. WWE gets sued. Not just Drew Gulak, WWE gets sued. Especially if they were aware of him doing it. Now, I have to wonder, would this be coming out if Ronda Rousey's allegations never hit? Probably not. Well, that's terrible. That's horrible if that's the case. Get him out of there. Now, Gable Stevenson isn't as interesting as Drew Gulak, but I do think he should be talked about. Because they brought in Gable Stevenson. Stevenson, or is it Stevenson? I think it's Stevenson. Stevenson. Ready, Willing, and Gable Stevenson. Anyways, they brought him in with the red carpet rolled out. Vince McMahon, I think, brought him in 2018, WrestleMania 34, right? Yeah, they rolled the red carpet out for him. And they gave him a WrestleMania moment. He slammed freaking, okay, it is Stevenson. Thank you. It's not Stevenson. It's Stevenson. Thank you for correcting me. Gable Stevenson. Gable, regardless, he had a WrestleMania moment. He was given it in 2018, and I think he got drafted to Raw, right? He got drafted to Raw during the whichever draft, and then they never used him. He just sat there. Not used. Never used him. Then they sent him to NXT, and he had that match with Baron Corbin. Now look, again, you guys gotta forgive me. I don't know what the aura, how do I put this? NXT fans nowadays have a certain expectation for NXT, right? And so my expectations are different because I grew up during Black and Gold. And so that's why I can't watch NXT now. Because NXT now feels like developmental. And that's fine. It feels like FCW, which is fine. And so I go in with the mindset of, all right, so is this match supposed to be seen as like, okay, a great match? Or am I supposed to give it some leeway because it's developmental? And that's what I was thinking about when I was watching Gable Stevenson against Baron Corbin. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I thought the match sucked. I thought it sucked. The crowd was booing Gable Stevenson. It didn't really feel like he wanted to be there. If I'm being honest with you. Through that one match I was watching him, I was like, I don't know. See, I'm not feeling it now. I'm not feeling him. You know, it's kind of like Ronda Rousey. Like, when Ronda Rousey got here in 2018, her performance was top quality. You could tell she cared about what she did. And then when she came back for that second run, she was phoning it in like a motherfucker. And that's what I felt like with Gable Stevenson. Gable Stevenson. Nah, man, I do not understand, for me personally, how someone like Gable Stevenson can be rolled out the red carpet. He can go win a gold medal, Olympic gold medal. He gets here, and then he phones it in so fucking hard. That's sad. That's sad. And so for that very reason, yeah, I was like, if his heart's not in it, let him go. It does suck that he got released before he could compete in the Olympics again. Apparently, he did the Olympic trials, and he passed. And they were apparently told him that they were telling him that he could compete. And then they said at the last second, nope, can't compete. So he never got a chance to actually do the trials to go to the Olympics. But here's the thing. If they had released him in February, he would have been able to go to the Olympics, but it's too late. Sorry, Gable. Maybe in 4 years. And look, there are some other allegations, too, about him. And this is something I didn't really do a lot of research on. There's probably more to it than meets the eye. But apparently, and y'all can correct me. Please correct me in the live chat or whenever you're watching this. Comments. Apparently, him and another colleague from college SA'd a girl. And they were arrested for it. Like, he actually got handcuffed for it. But he was released because of a loophole in Minnesota law. Which basically says, and I'm going to break this down. The girl who was incapacitated, drunk, can't claim she was incapacitated if she accepted a drink. So, that's a very horrible law for the record. Very horrible law. You get me? Because that means you can actually be SA'd, but if you accepted a drink from them, they get off. Nah, bruh. I ain't feeling that, bruh. Again, we don't know. Allegations are allegations until, evidence comes out and he's proven. He got let go. He got off. So I'm not going to hang on that too much. But regardless, if he ain't feeling it, he can go. He can go. Simple as that. We ain't got time for him no more. We here for the best, and we only accept the best. So give me your thoughts about all the releases. Drew Gulak, Gable, Stevenson, and others.
I'm waiting to see what happens. I'm not one of those fans. Now, full score.
Thank you so much for the donation, Mr. Rick Rosar. Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was sold out, ladies and gentlemen. It was sold out. Big capacity crowd at the XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut. Now, I know coming off of Leon France, the Raw crowd was not going to be as excited. And they weren't. They weren't. Compared to Leon France. They were excited, though. They popped for the usual stars. Jey Uso, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Gunther, Ricochet, Becky. The usual people that usually get pops, they got popped. They got popped. They popped for them. But the other ones, those poor women. The women are trying, y'all. They're trying so hard to connect. Something's off. Something's off. Hopefully we can figure it out for them. But yeah, like I said, it was just a night of wrestling. Just a solid night of professional wrestling where people got over. And it was nice. Judgment Day opened up the show. That being the champ, Le Campeon, Damian Priest with Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough. Rhea Ripley is still out. She's out on injury. But apparently, Rhea doesn't have the cast on anymore. A&B Combos, I showed them the picture of her recently. She's walking around without a cast. So, whatever injury she might have had might not have been as serious as they expected. You know what I mean? But Damian Priest basically let the group know that what happened on Saturday, we're all good. We're still a family. Just understand. Let me do the championship matches by myself. I don't need you to do anything for me. And everybody should rise for Judgment Day. Now, Finn Balor says he has a match against Drew McIntyre. But then, it was announced that Drew McIntyre is hurt. Drew McIntyre suffered an arm injury, an elbow injury that he announced that he's dealing with for real. He's actually dealing with an elbow injury. He can't do too much work. And they're trying to see if it will heal up over time. So they took him out of the match. And they replaced him with, of all people, Drew McIntyre's favorite of all favorites, Jey Uso. Yeet! Jey Uso, like I said before, is perhaps the most popular wrestler today. The guy, his entrance is everything. I love now that they're dimming the lights. Oh, Lord.
Index pointing up, index pointing up.
Ladies and gentlemen, acknowledge him. Franklin Torres is here to acknowledge Corp CA, the Super Chat champion. You love to see it. You love to see it. But like I was saying, apparently Drew McIntyre is dealing with an elbow injury, and he got replaced by the one guy that he didn't want to get replaced by, Jey Uso. And Jey Uso is getting to the point now where Jey Uso is so popular, even I'm starting to think, okay, maybe we should consider putting a belt on him. But who are they going to put the belt on him from? They can't. Sami Zayn is involved with a great storyline with Chad Gable and Bronson Reed right now. World champion is Damian Priest. He currently has a storyline with the Judgment Day, and they're going to break up. there are no titles for him to win. And that sucks. Was he going to jump to SmackDown? Okay, you jump to SmackDown. What, he's going to beat Logan Paul? No, that's LA Knight's title. He's not going to beat Cody for the world title. Kind of sucks. He's in a very interesting position right now where he can't necessarily win a championship, but he is about to be involved with the Bloodline storyline soon. So he'll have something to do, right? I just wish he would win a championship because he's super over right now. He ended up beating Finn Balor in the opening contest. A lot of people on Twitter, social media in general, feel like he's not good inside the ring. I disagree. I think he's actually pretty solid. Is he blowing my socks off? No, he's not Will Ospreay. He's not Bryan Danielson. He's not Ric Flair. He's not Bret Hart. No, he's not one of the best wrestlers, but he's not terrible. I've seen terrible wrestlers. Maybe that's why I'm so forgiving of him. See, I had to sit through an era of horrible freaking wrestlers being shoved down my throat. Jey Uso is 10 times better than a lot of the wrestlers that I used to watch. Does that mean you should think he's a great wrestler? Absolutely not. I just don't think I don't think he's as bad as everyone else says he is. And this match with Finn Balor wasn't that bad. It was decent. And Jey Uso won. When Drew McIntyre walked out there, having an issue with Jey Uso taking his spot. So Jey advances in the tournament. Drew McIntyre takes umbrage with, of all people, Jey Uso. And then, of course, you had Adam Pearce ring him, chew that ass, pause, backstage, to let him know you can't do that. And then Drew says, you know what, if you're not going to treat me with respect, I'm out of here. Gets in his car, drives out, and apparently there was a QR code right there for the Wyatt Six, or, you know, Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy. Didn't really look into it, but I'm pretty sure it led to something. And then CM Punk shows up. And then CM Punk, who made his timing very, very, very carefully, playing the Road Runner to Drew McIntyre's Wile E. Coyote. You love it. He's all like, you know what? I'm going to go out to the ring and wait for him. I'm going to go out to the ring and wait for Drew McIntyre to come find me. And he just basically, for 5 minutes, ripped Drew a new one. He eviscerated Drew McIntyre on the microphone and essentially said that he's going to break his face because Drew took away CM Punk's WrestleMania dreams. And so now CM Punk ruined Drew McIntyre's dreams. Ruined his WrestleMania moment. And now he can't wrestle. Now he can't even win King of the Ring. And he has made his life mission to make Drew McIntyre's life a living hell. And so I personally love it. I love that we're keeping this storyline fresh. We're keeping this storyline hot. And while these guys are healing, because, you know, they're healing up, we're going to go ahead and, you know, just kindly enjoy what they're doing. Oh, crap. Is the internet going bad? I think the Wi-Fi is going bad right now. And I apologize. I tried to get through it. Hopefully it's not too bad, guys. I apologize. Okay, hopefully it's stabilizing. Hopefully it stays that way. Okay. I think we're okay. Are we good? Okay, we're good. All right. But yeah, once again, I love it. I love the Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner chase that they're doing with these two, and I think it's going to create good stories. Hopefully it leads to something. Hopefully it leads to them having some bloody, awesome matches, if you know what I mean. Iyo Sky came out to take on Natalya. Queen of the Ring, tournament match number 1. Match was really good. Natalya gets a lot of flack for not connecting as much as they feel like that she should be connecting, right? But one thing you can't take away from Natty is the fact that she is an excellent wrestler. And you give her an opponent like, I need your love. The timing of that super chat.
That Ilja Dragunov versus Ricochet match was good. But the Super Chat Championship match at SummerSlam will be better.
Corporate Clyde letting people know that 3 Diglets, and of course Franklin Torres, and many others, that the Super Chat Championship match at SummerSlam is going to be litty. It's going to be lit. Can't wait for it. But yeah, I look forward to seeing what they do with Punk and Drew. Now back to Iyo Sky and Natalya. Anytime you give Natalya a good wrestler to work with, she's going to tear it up. Period. And that's what we got. Great counters, great high-flying moves. I really, really enjoyed the... What was it? Was it a Liger Bomb? There was a Liger Bomb spot where Natalya caught Iyo while she was flying off the top rope and hit a freaking awesome powerbomb. See, Natalya understands what needs to be done to really, really put someone over inside a match. And Iyo Sky doesn't get a lot of chances to wrestle either. So that makes me very happy. It makes me very happy to see these women getting a chance to actually show the world that, hey, just because we women doesn't mean we can't get down either. Get down with the good down. But Natalya doesn't win because why would she? And of course, Iyo Sky advances. And I'm assuming that she'll be taking on Shayna Baszler. I'm assuming because Shayna Baszler will take on Zelina Vega in some type of an event. Like Kofi Kingston will take on Rey Mysterio at some kind of an event too. I'm shocked we didn't get Kofi Kingston and Rey Mysterio tonight, but all right. It is what it is. Let me see here. I think next is Ilja Dragunov, right? Woo-wee! Next is Ilja Dragunov taking on Ricochet. This was magnificent. Fantastic match. Oh, this match had it all. Man, look here. If you like a match with stiff shots and high-flying moves like, of course, shooting star presses and dives to the outside, suicidas, spaceman dives, 450, 630s, along with smacking a man across the chest really, really hard, this is the match for you. This was... Man, let me tell you something. Ilja Dragunov is different. The kind of matches he has, they aren't just your run-of-the-mill matches. He will hit you. And he will hit you hard. And if you're not ready, he gonna knock you out. Oh my God, the German suplexes he was doing to Ricochet. Oh my goodness. And I think he did one on the outside where Ricochet landed on his face. Craziness. And then he followed it up with a coast-to-coast dropkick to Ricochet. Man. I loved it. Frankensteiner's Avalanche Frankensteiner off the top rope from Ricochet. That was freaking dope as well. Love that. So, Dragunov has this move called the Constantine Special, where he goes for a 619. No one's on the ropes. He has a 619 on the ropes, spins around, hits a discus lariat to the opponent. But here's the thing. When Ilja Dragunov hits the clothesline, he doesn't hold back. He goes in. And he, wham, wallops Ricochet. And Ricochet sold it like $1 million. Oh, it looks so good. That Constantine Special was amazing. But look here. The finisher. His finisher is called the H-Bomb. And what Ricochet has to do, he has to lie down on the floor. And he has to let this crazy man come running in, fly in the air, and boom! Elbow him on the ground. The H-Bomb as a finisher is devastating. It is a nuts finisher. And Ilja Dragunov does win the match, but let me tell you something. Ilja Dragunov is the kind of wrestler that makes you better. If you get through a match with Ilja Dragunov, my friend, you're made. Ilja Dragunov is like Sheamus. He's like Gunther. They're the kind of wrestlers that make everyone they wrestle feel better than what they are. And I thought Ricochet came out looking like $1 million, even in defeat. But yeah, Ilja Dragunov had an excellent match. Excellent match with Ricochet. It was a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty. It was great. I think after that, they, can I say something? This show had too many commercial breaks. Like, for a show that was all about the wrestling, it really is, it's really irritating as hell when you have a match that's picking up momentum and then, commercial break. Oh, it was terrible, especially for the women's matches. Ivy Nile and Zoey Stark really suffered from the commercial break. They didn't even get a chance to get the momentum going before the commercial break hit. And you already know how this works. Zoey Stark is the established name, so Ivy Nile wasn't going to win. And we're going to turn her heel so anyways. Because you know Chad Gable. And of course, the other members of... Well, okay, maybe not, Alpha Academy, but Creed Brothers and all of them, they're going to turn heel. But man, like, this match between Ivy Nile and Zoey Stark, because I can see they were trying so hard to make people care, and nobody gave a fuck. No fan. There were 13,000 people in that arena. Nobody gave a damn about this match. I hate to see it. But Zoey Stark does win. She advances on in the tournament. Then we get Carlito Caribbean Queen. Carlito went backstage to talk to the Judgment Day. Of course, he was invited by Dominic Mysterio. What's Dom doing making all friends with these Latinos? What you doing, Dom? What you setting up? He's setting up something. But of course, Judgment Day turned them away because they don't want anything to do with the LWL. Which makes me think they will have something to do with the LWL in the future. They kind of had to. Because Dominic Mysterio hates Rey Mysterio. I think after that, we got Chad Gable and Big Bronson Reed, right? Yes, we did. Here's the thing. The match doesn't really go long because Sami Zayn comes out and beats the hell out of Chad Gable, giving Gable the win by DQ. Big Bronson Reed hates that and decides to beat piss out of both Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. Beats the living piss out of them. Which then leads to Sami Zayn announcing that it will be a triple threat match for the IC title at Saudi Arabia. The King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view. So that's going to be a good match. Can't wait for that one. I think after this was the Becky Lynch segment, right? Look. Look. I love Becky. I think Becky, especially nowadays, her biggest problem with her promos, and I said this before, it feels like Becky writes down her promos before she goes out there and memorizes them like they're texts. And then she comes out and cuts a promo like she's reading off of a poem, like she's cutting a poem, like she's reciting a poem, right? And so while she was doing this interview with Michael Cole, and I can remember like she was reciting all of the women on the roster, and then she would go on these diatribes of why these women are important, why this woman's important, why this woman's important. In my head, I'm like, okay, Becky, sweetheart, can we get back to 2018, 2019 Becky, who didn't give a fuck about any of these women and were burying people on social media. I want that Becky back. Like, this Becky, I love Becky, but this Becky doesn't have any fire to her. It's, I miss the Becky with a fire. Light a fire under her ass. Literally, no pause. So this segment was dying a horrible death. And I'm begging, Liv, come out. Liv, come out. And just before I gave up hope, Liv comes out, and I said, thank God. Liv comes out, gets a pop, by the way. Liv comes out and basically tells Becky to shut the hell up and stop yapping. Blah, 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 blah. Which is how I felt. God damn it. She gets inside the ring, tells Becky that she's on her revenge tour. She needs to get and take everything away from Rhea Ripley. That includes the championship. And then she challenges Becky to a match at the pay-per-view. And Becky accepts it. So it'll be Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan at King and Queen of the Ring. And that's when Damage Control comes out. That being Iyo Sky, Dakota Kai, and Kairi saying, no Asuka. Because apparently Asuka's hurt. She injured herself during the pay-per-view. I have to question if she was injured during the show or did she get hurt before then and she worked hurt. I don't know. But Damage Control comes out and they look like they're going to attack Becky and Liv. And then Liv said, deuces! I'm out, bitches! And so she was out because she's a heel. And then Lyra Valkyria came out and was like, what you doing? Why aren't you helping her? She's like, let's fuck that bitch. You know, like, Liv is doing what I was hoping Becky would do. Like, fuck that bitch. I hate her ass anyways. Fuck her. You know what I mean? But yeah, Liv gets the hell out of there, and Damage Control beat up Becky. Lyra Valkyria makes a save, and then we get to Lyra Valkyria taking on Dakota Kai. The match was fine. You know, I'm not high on Lyra Valkyria. I've seen her wrestle. I'm not as into her as I am a Roxanne Perez. Now, Roxanne Perez is really good. Really good. I'm not into her like I am Jade Cargill. I'm not into her as I think I'll be with Kiara James. Yeah, Kiara James. I'll have to see. I really will have to see where I am with her over time. She just got here. Maybe she'll win me over. I'm sorry. Like, for me right now, it ain't clicking. It's not clicking with me right now. Not saying she's a bad talent. I know she beat Becky for the NXT Championship, and that's fine. That's great. I'm sorry. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it for right now. I could feel it later, but not right now. But she beats Dakota Kai and moves on in the tournament. I think after this is the main event, right? Yep, and after this was Sheamus and Gunther. Nah, 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 nah. Now, once again, this match was ruined by commercial breaks. By the way, is it Kiana James or Kiara James? I think it's Kiana James. My bad. Kiana James. This match was awesome for what it was, but it was ruined by the constant commercial breaks. I think they had like 2 or 3 commercial breaks during the match. Jesus Christ! That ruins the momentum. But when they were on screen and they were beating the piss out of each other and Sheamus was getting his body bludgeoned and cracked and cackled like freaking... Y'all, Gunther hit Sheamus so hard in the back. He knocked the sweat off of it and left a handprint on it. He left a handprint on Sheamus's back! Jesus Christ almighty. I don't know, y'all. It was everything I wanted. It was a beef fest. Meat slapping meat. Stiff, nice and stiff. Pause. But you know what I mean. It was definitely a hard-hitting, strong style kind of match. And again, like, if we're gonna get Ilja Dragunov and GUNTHER, can't wait for that. Oh, that one's gonna be fabulous. It's gonna be nice. We're gonna get more of this. But Ludwig Kaiser interfered during the match and drop kicked Sheamus' leg. And of course, GUNTHER focused on his leg, and Sheamus basically tapped out. So, it's the weakest of the 3 matches they've had one-on-one, but it's still an awesome match. I just didn't like the commercials. And that was it. GUNTHER just beats him. And Sheamus put on Twitter that there will not be a round 4. You lie! There better be a round 4. We can't just end it on that. Sheamus eventually has to beat GUNTHER. I want GUNTHER versus Sheamus round 4. But yeah, GUNTHER moves on in the tournament, and we're going to get closer and closer to Dragunov and GUNTHER. Can't wait for that. But again, it was a good, strong episode for wrestling. We've entered a cold period for WWE. It's not going to be a lot of people watching as much. You'll even see it on the views here. The views are not even as high as they used to be. But as time goes by, we get closer to the summer, things are going to pick up. So in the interim, we'll just enjoy wrestling. That's all I care about. So that's what I feel about tonight's episode. How did you feel about tonight's episode? Y'all tell me in the live chat. What grade would you give tonight's episode, and what rating would you give it out of a scale of 1 to 10? All right. That's going to do it for my review, y'all. Let me go ahead and see what y'all in here talking about. What we in here talking about? Let's see here. Let me say her. Let me say her. We got Joe Shipley. I think Uncle Howdy is going to make an appearance at SummerSlam. He might show up before then. He can probably show up around maybe Glasgow. What is that? Clash at the Castle? Probably. We'll see. Wrestling is hot outside of WWE. Where? Exactly where is wrestling hot outside of WWE? CM Punk and Drew McIntyre are beefing like Kendrick Lamar and Drake. I am so far behind that. I'm so far behind their battle. I really just need to catch up on it. Seriously. What are my thoughts on Homelander being a DLC for Mortal Kombat 1? Well, sir, I'm glad you asked. I love the boys. Love me some boys. Can't wait for season 4 to come out this year. June 13th. And they said season 4 is going to be nuts. Can't wait for it. So yeah, I love it. I love the idea of playing Homelander in Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat. It's going to be nice. Hopefully it ends up being a fun playthrough. Yeah, NB Combo says to like the video. We really appreciate that. Y'all. I also see Jody Bennett. Woo! The Nature Boy, Jody Bennett. What's good, Jody? Jordan Williams in his house. Yeah, NXT from 2014 to 2019, Black and Gold era. You can't top that. That's just golden. It's golden. The Super Chat champion gives it a solid 8 because Iyo was in it with her sexy drunken walk. Oh yeah. That's what she be. She be doing it for you, champ. She know you be watching and she be doing that for you. Because I know it gets you off in all those ways. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let me see here. Shaw Yisrael. Shalom, Alyx. Hello. Good to have you here, guys. So what show do you think is gonna be better? Clash at the Castle or Saudi Arabia? Oh, definitely Clash at the Castle. They're gonna have the better crowd. They're gonna have the better crowd. Let me see here. Yeah, Ilja Dragunov's amazing. He's just amazing. Oh, he's here, y'all. Khalil Does Everything has shown up. Show him some love. Yeah, he says, "What's up, everyone? I'm here to check in to say what's up. I'm having finals and graduating from college this week. But next Monday, I will be back and fulfill my moderator's duties. He will be back in full swing as a moderator. So you will see him back. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us, man. Take care of yourself, for real. For real, for real. Alright, y'all. I don't want to push my luck with this internet. So let me go ahead and end it here. How did it come across? I think it was okay. I don't think there was a hiccup tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and end things on this note. Thank you all so much for joining me here. I will be back on Friday, live for SmackDown, King of the Ring. So be sure you tune in for that. And as always, if this was something that you want more of, then you will need to subscribe for more. So as you follow out, do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, and do what you do best. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And whatever else, just email me, SeatGeek, whatever. And of course, Mint Mobile, which we'll talk about at a later show. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for making me a part of your day. And I hope you guys are having a fabulous week, a fabulous Monday, and hopefully it remains fabulous. Because I want to see you this week for Friday Night SmackDown. So until then, this is Alyx, just Alyx signing out right here in Alyx's world, the place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm out. Peace.